Is India moving closer towards its dream of implementing the Uniform Civil Code throughout the territory, or is it still a distant vision for India? Hello students, welcome to Drishti IAS. My name is Saloni Nandkyoliar, and today we are going to talk about the UCC Amendment Ordinance of 2026. So this ordinance has been implemented in Uttarakhand. So we know that the UCC Act was implemented in 2025, January 27, 2025 in Uttarakhand, and with this Uttarakhand had become the first state in independent India to implement the Uniform Civil Code. And now what has happened is that the Uniform Civil Code Amendment Ordinance 2026 has been introduced to make some amendments, necessary amendments to the UCC Act of 2024 following the approval of the governor. So basically the governor under Article 213. Under Article 213, the governor of a state has a power to pass ordinances when the state legislative assembly is not in session and an urgent legislative action needs to be taken. So under Article 213, the governor of Uttarakhand has passed this ordinance, the UCC Amendment Ordinance. However, it is to be noted that once the assembly is back in session, then within 6 weeks of the starting of the session, this will have to be passed. This will have to be approved. This act will have to be approved by the Legislative Assembly in order to become a law. So right now, this is an ordinance. It has been passed. It is temporary in nature. It is in effect, but it is temporary in nature. Once the Legislative Assembly reconvenes, then this will have to be approved by the Legislative Assembly. And this was introduced to make certain amendments to the already existing UCC Act in Uttarakhand. And those amendments in particular are not very important or relevant for the examination here. However, you must know that the amendments were made to make the process easier, clearer, procedures were more elaborated, penalties were imposed, all these things have happened. But what becomes important for us is the concept of UCC, the debate of UCC, relevant SC judgments related to UCC. So we'll cover all that in detail. Before we do that, there is this course for you, the Studio GS Foundation live online course, which is a complete UPSC preparation kit for you, because you will be covering both the prelims and main syllabus. You'll have 3 different mediums to choose from: English, Hindi and Hinglish, and all of this you're getting at a very affordable price of only rupees 24,999, and you can even avail an additional discount on this fee if you use the coupon code SALONI, Saloni, all in capital letters only, and you will be able to get the maximum discount for yourself. So don't wait, admissions are already open. If you have any further queries related to this course, you can call us at this number 87501 87501, and you can also download the Drishti Learning app and enroll into this course. Now let's talk about UCC, Uniform Civil Code. Now, Uniform Civil Code is basically a single law. It is a single civil law that deals with all the personal matters, all the civil matters related to all the citizens of a country, irrespective of their religion. So this is a single law which is to be enforced on all citizens of a country, irrespective of their religion. Right now what happens is that we have different religions in India, and all these religions have their certain civil laws. So the civil laws in India are highly dependent on the religious laws that we have. Like in for Hindus, we have the Hindu Marriage Act, the Hindu Adoption Act, Hindu Inheritance Act, so on and so forth. Then there are different acts. For Muslims, we have the Shariat. So there are different things. Christians have a different Christian Marriage Act. So all the civil matters or the personal matters like marriage, divorce, inheritance, adoption, custody, etc. All these things right now are governed by the religious laws of all these different religions. But UCC is a concept which says that it is to be enforced on all the citizens equally, irrespective of their religion. So they'll have to follow the same law when it comes to their personal things, their civil rights, their civil things like marriage, adoption, inheritance, etc. They'll be under one single law, and it will not be divided as per the different religions. So this is UCC, and it has also been enshrined in our constitution under Article 44, which is a DPSP, Directive Principle of State Policy. It's a DPSP, which means it is non-enforceable by the courts. We cannot legally enforce it. However, it is at the discretion of the state, but it is advisable, it is desirable that this is implemented, a uniform civil code is implemented throughout the territory of India. This is what the Constitution of India also says. And if we look at the related Supreme Court judgments also, then time and again Supreme Court has also said or reiterated that UCC needs to be there in India. Right now only Goa and Uttarakhand have UCC. Now Goa had UCC even before independence, when it was just a Portuguese colony. So right now it still remains in place. The Portuguese civil laws still remain in place. So that's why Goa already has an UCC. But post independence, Uttarakhand became the first state in the country to have implemented the UCC in 2025. And when we talk about the related Supreme Court judgments, then there are some cases that you must keep in mind, like the Shah Bano case. Shah Bano case of 1985. This was about a Muslim woman demanding maintenance from her husband post talaq. So Shah Bano case also, in that case also Supreme Court reiterated that yes, maintenance has to be provided. If Hindu married women or Hindu divorced women, they have right to maintenance. Muslim divorced women also have right to maintenance. So that's why UCC needs to be there, so that this ambiguity related to different religion goes away, and everybody is governed by one single codified law. Then there was also the Sarla Mudgal case. Sarla Mudgal case of 1995, which was around a Hindu man who converted into Islam just to practice polygamy. So again, the Supreme Court reiterated that we need to have a uniform civil code so that such practices can be discouraged. Then a very famous case, the Shaira Bano case. Shaira Bano case of 2017. Here talaq-e-biddat or triple talaq was declared to be unconstitutional. So basically, time and again the Supreme Court has also said that we need to have a uniform civil code. Then what is the issue? Why has it not been implemented throughout the country? First of all, it's a DPSP. It's non-enforceable. The states are not mandated to follow it. It is at the discretion of the states to follow it. And we must understand that such things will take time. This is a gradual reform. It needs to be implemented probably in phases to gauge the response of the people, to engage people, and a lot of awareness. A lot of awareness also needs to be spread across the citizens, among the citizens, so that the acceptability towards UCC can be widened. People must understand what is the importance of UCC, how is it going to change their lives for better. When this awareness is there, when this legal literacy is there, only then the acceptability is going to increase, because there are arguments in favor of UCC also, and there are arguments against UCC also, which the cultural minorities basically use, or religious minorities use, that their rights under Article 25, Article 29, they are going to be compromised, where they have a right to practice their own unique cultural identity, their traditions, etc. That is going to be compromised. However, we must also understand that sometimes these things become very, very insensitive towards the weaker section, like the genders, the different, like the female population or children in inheritance cases or in adoption cases. So that's why a uniform civil code is required, so that these practices which are being used against, let's say, females or against children, they can be discouraged and everybody comes under the same lens of laws. So that's why UCC definitely is required. But again, it needs to be understood that India is a very big country. We have very diverse populations, different cultures, different religions, languages, etc. So we must also keep, we'll need to preserve these identities also, and at the same time increase awareness so that this can happen gradually. But definitely in the long run, this must be there. So that was all for this video. I hope you enjoyed the discussion. Now let us look at a practice question for prelims. With reference to the Uniform Civil Code in India, consider the following statements. 1. Article 44 of the Constitution directs the state to secure a uniform civil code for all citizens. 2. Goa follows a uniform civil code based on the Portuguese Civil Code. 3. A uniform civil code is a fundamental right under the Indian Constitution. Select the correct answer. A, 2 and 3 only, B, 1, 2 and 3 only, C, 1 and 2 only, or D, 3 only. Please provide your answers in the comment section, and if you liked the video, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the Drishti IAS English YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.